Well, welcome. Come on in. Welcome to Coffee with Wes for this Wednesday morning. It is October the 8th, 2025. And my name is Wes, and this is the Coffee. And I serve as the pastor of the First Baptist Church of Cutler in Cutler, Illinois. And it is a nice fall morning. A little bit cool in the air, a little bit of coolness in the air. And you can hear some of the birds in the background. And yeah, it's just great. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful morning. I guess any morning that you're able to put your feet on the ground and get up, I guess that's a wonderful morning. So it's a wonderful morning today. And so I'm glad you tuned in. Glad you're here. Come on, have a seat. We're going to go ahead and get started. But before we do, I just want to remind you, if this is helpful to you, if you're leading a Bible study this weekend, or if you're wanting like a personal Bible study for yourself, and if you'd like a teaching summary of this week's text that we were looking at in 1 Thessalonians 4:16 through 5 verse 8, I believe. If you would like a little teaching summary of this week's of that text, just follow the links in the description or the show notes, whatever format you're viewing this on. And you can go to my webpage, or you can go to my YouTube channel, and all that information will be there. It'll be helpful. There's like a 2-page, actually just 1 page, 2-sided. That's probably a better way to say it. 2-sided, 1-page summary of discussion guide of the lesson that will help you as you lead this weekend. All right, so let's get to our study today, or our time today. The followers of Jesus in Thessalonica had several issues. And but one of the issues was the status of their loved ones who had died. They were followers of Jesus, but they died before Jesus returned. First Thessalonians written some 20 years after Jesus' ascension. Everyone's awaiting Jesus to come back at any moment. And now it looks like he's going to tarry a little bit. And so what do we do if we're not alive when Jesus comes back? Will we join the Lord up, in the air? Will we get to go to heaven, or we just end up in the grave for all of eternity? And so they were wanting to understand, along with the concern that they had for their loved ones who had died, they also wanted to understand a little bit more about the return of Jesus. So in this letter, 1 Thessalonians, Paul reminds them very clearly, we read this very clearly, that Jesus is coming again, and it's going to be suddenly, gloriously, and also certainly. And so this hope or assurance or confidence was meant not to cause them fear, not to be, the Lord's coming back, and be fearful, but to give them encouragement and motivation to live differently than the rest of the world each and every day, or to live faithfully each and every day. Let me read from 1 Thessalonians 5, verses 4, 5, and 6. And Paul writes, he says, and I'm reading from the New Living Translation, "But you aren't in the dark about these things." That's the return of Jesus and the things that are going to happen. Just read the previous verses. "But you aren't in the dark about these things, dear brothers and sisters, and you won't be surprised when the day of the Lord comes like a thief. For you are all children of the light and of the day. We don't belong to the darkness and the night. So be on your guard, not asleep like others. Stay alert and be clear-headed." So believers, as followers of Jesus, we aren't left in ignorance. So Paul here contrasts two groups, right? Those who live in spiritual darkness, and those who belong to Jesus, living in the light. To live as children of the light is to live with an awareness, with a readiness, with a holiness about the things that we do in this life. And so what does that mean? It means that living in the light, as children of the light, as followers of Jesus, means that our thoughts, our choices, our lifestyles reflect those of Jesus. And while the world is spiritually asleep, distracted, unaware, we are called to stay awake, to be alert, and to be faithful. And so the challenge is for us to look at our lives, look at our daily routines, our daily habits, if you will, and evaluate them as to whether or not they reflect a child of the light, or do those habits reflect someone who is drifting in darkness? And, no one else can do it, but you have to do it for yourself. The preacher can't do it for you, but you've got to figure it out. So once we do that, then make a commitment to just one practical change that shines the light of Jesus through your daily life. So that's a big challenge. Before we go, let's remember this. We belong to the light in Jesus Christ. So let's live awake, alert, and let us be ready for the return of Jesus at any time. Folks, you all have a great Wednesday. I hope you get a lot done today. And oh, by the way, we have Bible study at the First Baptist Church of Cutler this evening, and it begins at 6:30. 6:30. And we're looking in Ecclesiastes chapter 9. Ecclesiastes chapter 9. And so if you're in the Cutler area, come by, join us. We'd be glad to have you. All right, folks, bye for now.